Hi, I'm Rayme Waters, and I'm reading from my new novel, Mercuria. It's the story of a family that moves from San Francisco to a wealthy Bay Area suburb, they say, for the schools. The eldest daughter in the family realizes once they're there that something is wrong with the town. And I'll read you a selection as she moves deeper into this mystery. Later that night, I dreamed it rained. The water washed down the roof of our house into the drain pipes, dripping on the concrete foundation beneath them. Louder, then louder still. I woke up. The tapping didn't stop. I crept to my window and saw something move outside in the moonlight. A face came close to the glass, and I jumped back, a screech choke coming out of my mouth before I could cover it with my hand. It was Arden. I must still be sleeping, I thought. But when I opened the window, real cold air steamed in, and I could smell the forest and see the ring around the moon. Arden put his warm hand on my arm. The chilly night, the scent of oak trees, Arden's touch, those were awake details. I looked at the clock, 2:12 a.m. Where were you born? He asked, breathless, like this was the most important question in the world you could ask someone at 2 o'clock in the morning. What? Here. What do you mean here? My mom and dad were driving. I came early. Mercuria had the nearest hospital. What made you move here now? Middle of the night outside your bedroom window didn't seem like the worst time to tell someone all of your family's problems, but I was just too tired. Why are you asking me this? I'm trying to figure everything out, who you are and why you change what I can do. What do I change? I asked. He didn't answer. Are you coming in? I said. Can you come out? He asked. This I knew wouldn't fly, even with my parents. Where are we going? My house, he said. In the middle of the night? I asked, thinking maybe I should make him wait until tomorrow when it was light out and someone knew where I was going. Now is the only time I can show you, he said. My body had given me a big warning when Arden tried to kiss me, but for now it was silent. A little kiss, bad. Sneaking out at 2 a.m. with a boy I wasn't certain wouldn't hurt me? Fine. What kind of judgment did I have anyhow? I shrugged internally. Maybe if nothing made sense in Mercuria, the best thing to do was the least rational. I put on my sneakers and a jacket over my pajamas and let Arden lift me out of the window. We climbed the gravel hill and stepped over the chain that blocked his driveway. He held my hand as we climbed the steps to the front door. But your mom said, we have to go in this way. If you go in the back, you won't be able to see it. The door creaked open, and we were in those musty front rooms, the sheets on the furniture standing out like ghosts in the pale light. Arden motioned for me to come up the stairs, but I shook my head no. I was alone in the company of a boy with deadly aim. No one knew where I was, and he was trying to get me further from any escape route. Come on, he mouthed, pulling on my hand. I thought about Cassie's words, that Arden was unfathomable, that she couldn't quite understand him. I want to go home, I said. Please, he asked. I'm trusting you in a way you can't understand. I made out enough of his face to know that he was frightened too. It disarmed me. Please, he asked again, in a tone that came close to begging. I followed him up the dark, curving stairs. He pointed out the squeaky floorboards, and we moved down the paneled hall. These were the kinds of walls that should be hung thick with portraits of his ancestors, those who had opened up the mines beneath the town and made Mercuria and his family rich. But the walls were empty, dark wood. They gave me no knowledge. We came to a heavy double door at the end of the hall. I saw there were deep scratches in the wood around the knob, like an animal had tried to claw its way in. Human nails couldn't make marks like that. Oh, Arden, I thought, what is this place? He edged open the door and beckoned me to, but put out his arm before I crossed the threshold. "Don't go in," he whispered. "On this side, it doesn't know you're here." His arm protective around my shoulders, I peered into the room as my eyes adjusted to the light. His mother lay in a cream-colored nightgown, asleep on one side of the imposing bed, its ornate headboard bending over her, curving around the corners of the mattress. On the other side of the bed, hovering a few feet above the silk pillows, was an object, its outline barely discernible. I stared hard at it, but wasn't exactly sure what I was seeing. The edges were unclear, and it was darker than what was around it, like a hole or a void, instead of something solid. It seemed to pulse faintly, but that could have been my own heart beating in my ears. My eyes fully adjusted, I could see that Arden's mother looked like an angel. Her hair fanned out around the silk bed sheets, the pulse from that thing lighting up her beauty, her youth. And then I began to see an outline, a shape emerge from the blurry void. A bird, a sleeping crow half the size of a human, its beak nestled under its wing, shared the bed of Lillian Flint. "What is it?" I asked. "She tells me," Arden whispered, his voice hard. "She tells me it's my father."